In this video I'm going to show you how to quickly load Commodore 64 games off a USB on the C64 Mini. There's almost no loading times at all with this method once you have this file set up properly. Really, with just a couple of presses of the joystick you can jump right into the game you want to play. This method will work with the C64 Mini straight out of the box. All you need is a USB, any standard USB will do. But first we've got to set up what's on the USB stick. Now before getting my hands on the C64 I had hoped to get a bunch of games on a USB stick and just play them off it. Unfortunately, as it currently stands on day of release, that's not quite how it works. You're only able to put one game on a USB stick at a time. But it's not that big of a deal because if you want to play a different game, all you have to do is just connect your USB to your PC and just swap out the games. And the great thing is that it will actually save all your save states onto that file. Whatever game is put on the USB at the time, if there's save states attached to it, you can back those up onto your computer and load them up any other time whenever you want to swap it back onto your USB stick. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete all but one game, and for the purpose of this video I'm going to play Rick Dangerous because it's one of my favourite games, and if it didn't play right in any way I would be able to recognise that. And I'll just say at the start here that it plays perfectly fine and emulates really well. One little nuance is that any game you want to play, you have to rename it to the C64-Drive 8. That's just the way that the system currently finds the game. It's just a way of finding it, so it is a little bit annoying that you can't just keep it whatever name you want, but it just makes it easier to actually find. And later on when you're finished and you want to have your save states and stuff like that, you could always create another folder and just call that folder the game and just drop it in there so that you don't lose track of which file is which game on your actual PC. Alright, that's it. Now that you have your USB set up, just plug it into your console and before it's turned on, make sure you just power it down, plug in the USB and turn it on. Next we navigate over to the C64 basic tile there. If, like me, you don't have a keyboard plugged into your mini C64, just bring up your virtual keyboard. And the way to do this is by pressing the menu button, which is the rightmost of the four small buttons at the front. Then go over and select virtual keyboard just by pressing the fire button. And now we'll have a little keyboard where we can type whatever we want in. This would be a really slow way to actually program a game or do anything like that, but for purposes of just loading a game, it's not too bad at all. So go ahead and type load, quotation mark, star, quotation mark, comma, 8. Just the regular loading that you'll be familiar with if you know anything about the Commodore 64. The Mini will then search for your game. Now this can take a little bit of time, so I'm going to skip this, but you can probably expect loading of about a couple of minutes. But we will shorten that down. As I've said at the start of this video, we'll make that much quicker soon. Eventually it will find your game and then it'll come up saying ready. Once this happens, just go ahead and type run. After you type run, you press the leftmost of the four small buttons, and that's essentially just the enter button, or what would be the enter button on your Commodore 64 keyboard if you had one. For me and this ROM in particular, Rick Dangerous, I get this little loading screen type thing. And essentially what would happen if I was playing this, I would be pressing the spacebar. On your joystick with the virtual keyboard up, your spacebar is actually this right triangular button. So if you press that, it gets rid of the loading screen. And now we just follow the on-screen commands. It's asking us to press run stop. I need to do that within the virtual keyboard. Just navigate to the run stop button and press fire. Then it's asking me if I want to do a high score. Just go up to H for that, and reset the high scores, why not? And here we have the game. Just close down your virtual keyboard and you can play away. Now this is where you can actually speed up the process. So from here, bring up your menu again and go load save, and you can actually save this state. So you've got 4 save states per game, and just select a slot wherever you want. And now the next time you go to turn on your C64 Mini, all you have to do is go to your the basic tile, bring up your menu and just go to load your save state. So that's going to cut out all that loading time. I will say that the loading time pretty much is the same as what the Commodore 64 would be normally. So, but with the advantage of save states here, we can cut that out completely and just load up your state, and we don't have to do any loading from then on. So you could just essentially have a backlog of games saved on your PC that has save states already built in, and which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of my best games and set up some save states right before the game starts, and then all I have to do is just load that up. So I hope that helped you guys to load some of your favourite games. I just got my hands on this today and I am in love with it. I really like how it works. And hopefully in the next few days I'll set up a review of the whole thing and tell you what I like and dislike about it. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, then please consider leaving a like on the video so other people can see it too. And keep an eye out for my review of the C64 Mini.